Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare. Yes, I'm in for a challenge. Looks like this position of the of the microphone. I'm into this challenge, and it's very logical. I can explain how I come to this. Is Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. It's about this challenging dynamic relationship between the father and the son. And by this challenging relationship, I feel it's so beneficial. The two, this way they get the best out of life. They get the best out of it. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. That's why I like this. Sometimes it seems controversial. I like this controversial dynamic relationship, father and son. Hare Krishna. So I would like to know more about it and become strong. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Yes, I want us to become strong. I want us to become strong. Wow, can you feel the power behind this? To become greedy, to become strong. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Become eager to become strong. Hare Krishna, greedy to be strong. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. It's just so much empowering in this. So much aliveness, progress. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Rama Hare Hare. It's time to upgrade. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So, I start where I left off. And in my case, it was here. This is Srila Prabhupada. To understand these things, Mukunda Upanishad 1 to 12. To save time, to save trouble, one has to accept the authority, actual authority. To save time, to save trouble, one has to accept the authority, actual authority. This is the Vedic process. And therefore Veda says, Tat vijna nartam sagurum eva bigachet. Mukunda Upanishad 1 to 12. To understand these things properly, one must humbly approach, with firewood in hand, a spiritual master who is learned in the Vedas and firmly devoted to the absolute truth. Yes, firmly devoted to the absolute truth, Satya. So the challenge I feel is, wow, this is really a challenge I feel. I want to know the truth, yes. I want to know the truth in quality. I want to know who has more quality, who is the stronger, Satya Sai Baba or Srila Haridas. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Wow, this is a challenge. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Tat vinyardana mi vidyanartam. In order to learn that transcendental science, one has to accept Guru, Guru Meva. Certainly one must. Otherwise there's no possibility. Therefore Krishna is accepted here as a spiritual master of Arjuna, and as a spiritual master of father or teacher has got right to chastise his son or disciple. A son is never dissatisfied when father chastises. That is the etiquette everywhere. Even the father is sometimes violent. The child or the son tolerates. A typical example is Prahlad Maharaj, innocent child, Krishna consciousness child, but father torturing. He never says anything. All right. Similarly, Krishna, just after taking the poison of the spiritual master, not the poison, the position. Similarly, Krishna, just after taking the position of the spiritual master, is designating Arjuna as a grand fool. Just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also said that, my spiritual master found me a great fool. Was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu a fool? Question mark. And can it be possible that anyone can become the spiritual master of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Both things are impossible. Both things are impossible. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even not accepting him as incarnation of Krishna, if simply you accept him as ordinary scholar or man, there was no comparison of his scholarship. But he said, my spiritual master found me a great fool. What is that meaning? That a person, even in my position, always remains a fool before his spiritual master. That is good for him. Nobody should impose that. What do you know? I know better than you. This possession is not denied. Well, yes. Yes, I feel it, the fact that this is controversial. It's being it's being confirmed that I have these slip of the tongues, that I say not when there's not. I hope you get it. And another point is, from the disciple's point of view, why he should remain always a fool before a person unless he's actually authorized. Actually so great that he can teach me as a fool. I don't get it. I have to read again. And another point is, from the disciple's point of view, why he should remain always a fool before a person, unless he's actually authorized, actually so great that he can teach me as a fool. I feel it's about saying that I'm a fool means accepting there's an authority. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. One should select a spiritual master in that way, and as soon as a spiritual master is selected, one should remain always a fool, although he may not be a fool, but the better position is like that. Yeah, so what I feel is, saying that I am a fool, I accept there's an authority, and I also accept that there is a possibility to upgrade, to progress. If I'm saying, no, I'm not a fool, I'm the best, there's no room for upgrade. There's no room for more bhakti. There's no room for progress. So Arjun, instead of remaining on the same level as friend and friend, voluntarily accepting to remain a fool before Krishna. And Krishna is accepting that. You are a fool. You're talking just like a learned man. But you are a fool, because you are lamenting on matter which no learned man laments. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. So, a fool in a certain way also says, yes, I was faking. I was hypocrite. I was wrong. I was polluted. I was unclear. And that means that there is room for progress. That means a fool laments that you are a fool, therefore you are a fool. That means a fool laments that you are a fool, therefore you are a fool. It is in a roundabout way. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. It is in a roundabout way, meaning, I try to clarify for myself that someone is circling. And circling, we know, it's not bringing you anywhere. It's not progressive. If it becomes a spiral, then there is some progress. If you snap out of your circle and go to the next level, that's progress. To go to to go to the to go to the postgraduate, to the postgraduate, not moving in circles on the Vaidhi level, but go to the Raganuga level. Yes, get out of the habits, of the not progressive habits. Is there another word for not progressive? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Shall I find out if there's a word, or just listen? Just listen, Tom. Just like. What is called in logic? Parenthesis. Or something like that, called, yes. That if I say that you look like that person who stole my watch, that means you look like a thief. Similarly, Krishna, in a roundabout way, says that, my dear Arjun, you are talking just like a learned man, but you are lamenting on a subject matter which no learned man laments. Go on. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Now, we proceed. Prabhupada proceeds. Now, never there was a time when I did not exist, nor you nor these people. Now he analytically says, I, you, and first person, second person, and third person. That is complete. I, you, and others. I, you, and others. So Krishna says, never there was a time when I, you, and all these persons who have assembled in this battlefield did not exist. That means in the past, I, you, and all of them, they individually existed. Individually. The Mayavadi theory is that the ultimate spirit is impersonal. Then how Krishna can say that never there was a time when I, you, and all these persons never existed? That means I existed as individual, you existed as individual, and all these persons who are far before us, who are before us, they existed as individual. Never there was a time. Now, what is your answer, Dina Dayala? Krishna says, never we were mixed up. We are all individuals. And he says, never we shall remain. Never there will be a time when we shall not exist. That means in the past we existed as individual. In the present there is no doubt we are existing as individual. And in the future also we shall continue to remain as individual. Then, when the impersonal conception comes at all, then when the impersonal conception comes at all, ? In the past, present, future, there are 3 times. It's all about 3. In the class of Srila Garidas, he also said 3. In all the times we are individuals. When God becomes impersonal, or become impersonal, or I become impersonal, or you become impersonal, ? Then when? Where is the chance? ? Now, Krishna clearly says, there was never a time when I, you, and all these individual kings or soldiers, it was not that we did not exist in the past. So in the past we existed as individual, and the present there is no doubt. We are existing as individual. You are my disciple, I am your spiritual master, but you have got your individuality. I have got my individuality. Yes, I was talking with Johan de Mond about this morning in the private chat. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. If you don't agree with me, you can leave me. Wow. That is your individuality. So if you don't like Krishna, you cannot become in Krishna. You cannot become in Krishna consciousness. That is your individuality. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So this individuality continues. Yeah. I tried, for me it's also challenging talking about this. And I want to not, I want to be clear about my feelings also, to be honest and to be clear. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. It's about these energies I sometimes feel. Like Srila Garidas sometimes says, if you don't like this, that means you can not have this consciousness. If you don't feel attracted, then you are not receptive. You cannot have this consciousness. If you don't appreciate this, then you can't have it. It's like if you are not present, then you cannot have the present. Then you cannot have the quality. So I continue. Similarly, Krishna, if he does not like you, there we are, he may refuse you Krishna consciousness. Similarly, Krishna, if he does not like you, he may refuse you Krishna consciousness. Not that because you are following all the rules and regulations, Krishna is obliged to accept you. No. If he thinks that he's nonsense, I cannot accept him. He will reject you. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Exactly. Exactly. So, he has got individuality. You have got individuality. Everyone has got individuality. Where is the question of impersonalism come? Question mark. There is no possibility. And if you don't believe Krishna, you don't believe Vedas. Apart from anything else, Krishna is accepted as the supreme authority, the personality of Godhead. Then, if we don't believe him, then where is the possibility of advancing in knowledge? There you go. There is no possibility of it. So there is no question of individuality. This is the statement of authority. Oh my God. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. So, I feel this relationship, how you feel father-son relationship, it has to do with authority, accepting authority. Hare Krishna, and it's a challenging, progressive, struggle sometimes. Like, let's see who is the strongest. Let's see who is the firm. Let's see who is the authority. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Rama Hare Hare. So there has to be this dynamic working out to find who is fake authority and who is the real authority. Now, apart from statement of authority, you have to apply your reason and arguments. You cannot. Can you say anywhere there is agreement between two parties? No. You go study in the state or in the family, in the community, in the nation where is no agreement. So again, you go study where there's no agreement. Where there's no agreement, there is a fight, a battle, a comparison, a challenge, a dynamic situation. Okay, continue. Even in the assembly, even in your country. Suppose there is Senate. Everyone has got country's interest, but he is thinking in his individual way. One is thinking that my country's welfare will be in this line. Otherwise, why there is competition during election of president. Everyone is saying that America needs Nixon. And another president, he also says, America needs me. So, but why two? Why two? Why two? Yes. Why this contrast? Why these opposites? Why these poles? Why these contrasts, opposites? If America, you and you are both, no, there is individuality. Mr. Nixon's opinion is something else. Another candidate's opinion is something else. In the Assembly, in the Senate, in the Congress, in the United Nations, everyone is fighting with his individual view. Everyone is fighting with his individual view. Otherwise, why there are so many flags in the world? You cannot say anywhere impersonalism. Personality is predominating everywhere. Everywhere. The personality, individuality is predominant. So we have to accept. We have to apply our reason, arguments, and accept the authority. Then the question is solved. Otherwise, it is most difficult. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Are you still with me? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Okay, I continue. This can this can take some time, but I feel it's really worthwhile. It's worth it. Devotee. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the Supreme Individual Person. And Arjuna, the Lord's eternal associate. And all the kings assembled there are individual eternal persons. It is not that they did not exist as individuals in the past. And it is not that they will not exist. They will not remain as eternal persons. Their individuality existed in the past, and their individuality will continue in the future without interruption. Therefore, there is no cause for lamentation for any one of the individual living entities. The Mayavadi, or impersonal, theory that after liberation the individual souls separate on account of Maya, or illusion, will merge into the impersonal Brahman without individual existence. Prabhupada. Now, the Mayavadi says that this individuality is Maya. So their conception is that spirit, the whole spirit, is a lump. Their theory is Gatakasha Putakash. Gatakash Putakash. Gatakash Putakash means just like sky. The sky is an expansion, impersonal expansion. So in a water pot, a pitcher that is closed. Now within the pitcher there is also sky, a small sky. Now as soon as the pitcher is broken, the outside, the bigger sky and the small sky within the pitcher mixes. That is Mayavada theory. But in this analogy cannot be applied. Analogy means points of similarity. That is the law of analogy. The sky cannot be compared. The small sky within the picture cannot be compared with the living entity. It is material, matter. Sky is matter, and individual living entity is spirit. So how can you say, just like a small ant, it is spirit soul. It has got its individuality. But a big dead stone, hill or mountain, it has no individuality. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So in Dutch we say, you cannot compare apples and pears. Hare Krishna. They just have a different character, a different quality. And so here it says, you cannot compare spirit with sky. So matter has no individuality. Spirit has individuality. So the points of similarity differ. Then there is no analogy. That is the law of analogy. So you cannot analogize with matter and spirit. Therefore, this analogy is fallacious. The Gatakas Potakas. Then another evidence is in the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says that Mamai Vamsu So Jiva Bhuta. Bhagavad Gita 15:7. The living entities in the conditioned world are my eternal, fragmental parts. The living entities in this conditioned world are my eternal, fragmental parts. Due to conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with the six senses, which include the mind. These individual souls, they are my part and parcel, Jiva Loka Sanatana. And they are eternal. That means eternally they are part and parcel. Then how this Mayavada theory can be supported, that due to Maya being covered by Maya, they are now appearing individual, separate. But when the covering of Maya will be taken away, they will mix up just like the small sky within the picture and the big sky outside mixes. ? So this analogy is fallacious from logical point of view, as well as from authentic Vedic point of view. They are eternally fragments. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. There are many other evidences from Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita says that spirit cannot be fragmented. So if you say that by covering of Maya, the spirit has become fragment, that is not possible. So, I'm reading this not like a teacher, but like a student. Yes, so my pace of reading this can differ from the pace you need. Hare Krishna. Maybe you think I got this. I know this already. I don't have to listen. Or on the other way, you can say, "Oh, Tom is going too fast. I cannot follow." Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So again, there are many other evidences from Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita says that spirit cannot be fragmented. So if you say that by covering of Maya, the spirit has become fragment, that is not possible. It cannot be cut. It cannot be cut. Just like if you cut one big piece of paper into small fragments, it is possible because it is matter. But spiritually, it's not possible. Spiritually, eternally, the fragments are fragments, and the Supreme is supreme. Krishna is the Supreme, and we are fragmental parts. We are fragments eternally. This I understand like this Abheda Bheda Tattva. We are simultaneously one and different. And I also was talking with Johan about this. We have our own individuality, our own tastes, and we can accept that. We can be truthful, not faking, not jumping over this, not neglecting this fact. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. We are fragments eternally. These things are explained in Bhagavad Gita in different places very nicely. I request you all to keep one copy of this Bhagavad Gita, every one of you, and read it carefully. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Okay, I skip a little bit. Go on. Devotee. Nor is the theory that we only think of individuality in the conditioned state supported herein. Nor is the theory that we only think of individuality in the conditioned state supported herein. Krishna clearly says that in the future also the individuality of the Lord and others as it is. Prabhupada, Krishna never says that after liberation these individual souls will mix up with the Supreme Soul. Krishna never says in the Bhagavad Gita. So Prabhupada, Krishna never says that after liberation these individual souls will mix up with the Supreme Soul. Krishna never says in the Bhagavad Gita. Devotee, Krishna clearly says that in the future also the individuality of the Lord and others, as it is confirmed in the Upanishads, will continue eternally. This statement of Krishna is authoritative. Prabhupada, yes. Upanishad says Nityo Nityanam. Now, Nitya means eternal. And the Supreme Lord is the Supreme Eternal. And we, individual souls, we are also many eternals. So he is the leader eternal. Eko Bahunam. Now he is the leader? Question mark. How is he leader? How is he leader? Question mark. Then Katha Upanishad 2:13. The Supreme Lord is eternal, and the living beings are eternal. The Supreme Lord is cognizant, and the living beings are cognizant. The difference is that the Supreme Lord is supplying all the necessities of life for the many other living entities. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. I skip a few sentences. So unless God is maintainer and supplier, why this injunction is there? Therefore, he is the leader. He is the maintainer. And the Vedas clearly says this is the position. He is the supreme. And by knowing this, one can become in peace. That is the Vedic injunction. Go on, devotee. This statement of Krishna is authoritative, because Krishna cannot be subject to illusion, if individuality. Prabhupada, yes. If the Mayavadi philosopher says that this statement of Krishna is in Maya, that he says that everyone was individual in the past. No, in the past everyone was one, lump sum, homogeneous. By Maya we have become individual. If the Mayavadi says like that, then Krishna becomes one of the conditioned soul. He does not. He loses his authority, because conditioned soul cannot give you the truth. I am conditioned soul. I cannot say something which is absolute. So just pick out this sentence that feels very clear. Because conditioned soul cannot give you the truth. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. So Krishna is accepted as the absolute. So if the Mayavadi theory is accepted, then Krishna's theory has to be rejected. Yeah, it's like you can only one can be true. The Mayavadi theory or Krishna's theory. The Mayavadi position or the Krishna position. If Krishna is rejected, then there is no need of reading Krishna's book. Bhagavad Gita. It is useless, waste of time. If he's a conditioned soul like us, it is useless, waste of time, if he, with capital H, he is a conditioned soul like us. Because we cannot take any instruction from a conditioned soul. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Because we cannot take any instruction from a conditioned soul. Yes, because this conditioned soul, it can say, yeah, I told this, but now there is an additional conditioning. There's an exception. There's another rule that is limiting. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, conditioning. So that's not the pure truth. Unconditional truth, unconditional love, unconditional Satchidananda, Nitya, eternal. So the spiritual master, even if you take that, he is a conditioned soul, but he does not speak anything from his own side. He speaks from Krishna's side. So unless the Vedic principle is that unless one is not liberated from the material conditions, he cannot give us any perfect knowledge. Yes. He cannot be an authority, the real authority. The conditioned soul, however, he may be academically advanced, educated, he cannot give us any perfect knowledge. Only one who knows is above the condition of these material laws. He can give us the perfect knowledge. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. I skip a few sentences. In this age of Kali, there is no other means for self-realization than chanting the holy name, chanting the holy name, chanting the holy name of Lord Hari. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila 17:21. Three times means giving too much stress. Just like we sometimes say, you do this, do this, do this. That means no more denial. Finish all stress. Yes, no doubt. There's no doubt. My words. So as soon as one thing is 3 times stressed, that means final. So Shankaracharya says, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam Mudamati. Muda. I've several times explained, Muda means rascal, ass. You are depending on your grammatical understanding. Drukane karane. Drukane. These are grammatical affix and prefix, pratya, prakarana. So you are depending on this verbal root, and creating, interpreting your meaning in a different way. All this is nonsense, this dukren karane. Your grammatical jugglery of words will not save you at the time of death. You rascal, you just worship Govinda, Govinda, Govinda. That is the instruction of Sankaracharya. Because he was a devotee, he was a great devotee. But he pretended to be an atheist because he was to deal with the atheists. Unless he presents himself as an atheist, the atheist followers will not hear him. Wow, this is so compassionate. Yes, that you degrade your appearance, you degrade your manifestation, so that the other can hear you. You have to degrade your quality to become, so the others can follow. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Therefore he presented Mayavada's philosophy for the time being. The Mayavada philosophy cannot be accepted eternally. Yes, I also feel, Srila Karidas explained, the teachers in several times, they said, there is more to say about this. I can say more, but you cannot accept it yet. You cannot bear. There's more to say, but you cannot bear it now. The eternal philosophy is Bhagavad Gita, and that is the verdict. Go on. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. I again skip a few sentences. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance, Bhagavad Gita 4:9. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. A few sentences later. Similarly, because you are spirit soul, you cannot live peacefully in this material world. This is foreign. Oh my God. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Yes, I talked about this with Amy sometimes. Similarly, because you are a spiritual soul, you cannot live peacefully in this material world. It is foreign. But as soon as you enter into the spiritual world, your life is eternal, blissful, and full of knowledge. That's Satchidananda. Eternal, blissful, full of knowledge. Real peace. Bhagavad Gita 4:9. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. Yeah, that's a repetition. This text is 2 times here. Krishna says, after leaving this body, he does not come to these perplexities of material world. He comes to me. Me means his kingdom, his paraphernalia, his associates, everything. Oh, I love this. Remembering Srila Gauridas said, it's so crucial that after you're leaving your body and you meet a devotee, that you follow that devotee, that true devotee. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. I hope you and I Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. I trust all the processes. Krishna is perfectly caring for every soul to come back. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. BS 520, Brahma Samhita 529. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, the first progenitor who is tending the cows, yielding all desire, in abodes built with spiritual gems, surrounded by millions of purpose trees, always served with great reverence and affection by hundreds and of thousands of Lakshmis or Gopis. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Bhagavad Gita 4:6. Although I am unborn and my transcendental body never deteriorates, and although I am the Lord of all sentient beings, I still appear in every millennium in my original transcendental form. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Bhagavad Gita 3:27. The bewildered spirit soul, under the influence of the 3 modes of material nature, thinks himself to be the doer of activities which are actually carried out by nature. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. This sentence doesn't flow, which are inactually carried out by nature. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Bhagavad Gita 3:27. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Wow, this one catches my attention. Maya Lila 6:169. Srila Vyasadeva presented the Vedanta philosophy for the deliverance of conditioned souls. But if one hears the commentary of Shankaracharya, everything is spoiled. So it's so important to listen to the opinion of the bona fide spiritual master. Yes, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. To not get distracted, to not get lost in Prakriti. Oh my God, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. You are the Supreme. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. One meets a disaster if he hears a Mayavadi philosopher to understand Vedic literature. That is his injunction. Sarvanash means disaster. It is actually disaster. Mayavadi commentary. They have simply tried that the individual, tiny individual spiritual spark, that you are the Supreme. So he's just a Dr. Frog, you see, so puffed up when he, at one time, it will burst. Therefore, it is disastrous. It is disastrous. So that's all. Finished? Yes. Oh, not yet? Question mark. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So what I feel is to overcome this doubt, to become convinced, to become in this undisturbed by Mahamaya philosophy. It's very peaceful. To accept the authority is very peaceful. Hari 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 Hari. There will always be turbulence, restlessness, agitation, triggering, challenging. And the way out of this circle, of this quality, is to surrender, to be receptive, to be humble with the authority. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. So when we approach the resident of Vrindavan, the truthful, the one who is living this Satchidananda, if we approach him from a position, an attitude, yes, I know better, I know this, I'm an authority, then we never can grasp, understand. So we have to Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. I'm just explaining my own train of thought. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Until nothing remains of these speculations. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I'm talking to myself. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, let's see if this was overwhelming or Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. I didn't even share, I remember, Hare Krishna, because I was talking to myself. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. So let's look at my the sound is really good, I think. Hare Krishna, Krishna. Look at my Facebook, where the comments are. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Okay, whoa, new name, Dulat Ram. Hare Krishna, welcome. Govinda Das. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Daphne. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Okay. Yeah, saying hello to Daphne also. Doladram. Kabir Sahib is God in all the scriptures. Okay. Hare Krishna, funny. Hare Krishna, welcome. Philip Michael. Exactly. A pupil is not the teacher. Like my granddad used to say, a little learning is a dangerous thing. I think there can be times when a novice may know something the master may not be aware of. I don't think it's always about knowledge from what people said in the past, but about being with the source, consciousness, and remaining with that. And we learn how to avoid going outside that. Hare Krishna. Jugal Krishna Das. Jugal. Marasachi Hari Bol. Rajbhuvan Yadav. Hare Krishna. Philip Michael. It seems obvious that Maya fragments, the individual, but when that obstruction is removed, then they become one with the rest, like the analogy of the sky. I assume you interpret it like that as well. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Yeah, but it is said we cannot compare, cannot use this analogy to explain the relationship between spirit soul and super soul. It's a not working analogy. The water pots, the air in the water pot and the air in the sky. It not resembles the same communication, the same position as the soul and the super soul. Hare Krishna, that's how I understood. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Janaki Devidasi, hi Tom, nice to catch you live. Yes, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Nice to catch that feeling, being from the same family, sharing the same love for a guru. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare. Although everyone has his individual position, his individual understanding, I feel I'm very happy to feel your presence. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. So where to go from here? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. I cannot see. 15 minutes? No. How long I'm live? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Why I cannot see? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Oh yes, 1 hour, 7 minutes. Wow, Hare Krishna. That's a nice, a nice number. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Was this beneficial? Does it add something from a real quality? For me it does. Doing service, does it serve? Does it help? Yeah. Another word for serving is helping. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Does it serve? Does it help? Does it help? Is it beneficial? Guru Vaishnava Bhagavan. 1, 2, 3. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Satchidananda. 1, 2, 3. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Guru Vaishnava Bhagavan. 1, 2, 3. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Teacher, student. Supreme. Whole. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. I don't feel like I want to stop. I want to... Let's see. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Somebody called me on my phone. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. I can always come back. We are transcendentally connected. Hare Krishna, Krishna. We are transcendentally connected. Jiva, spiritual soul, fragment, part and parcel. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Wow. This is just intuitively a train of thought. Like, how can I explain my train of thought? When a teacher asks the student, what do you want? Do you want to live? Do you really want to live? What does it mean? It can mean a lot of things. Never there was a time we did not exist. Never there will be a time we will not exist. Nor you, nor me, nor all those souls, kings. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So we are always alive. We are always alive. But Krishna, he being the super soul, he can facilitate, he can reciprocate, he can sprinkle the water of his will on our plans, on our desires, on our goals. Wow. So I feel I always have this natural tendency to go back where I started, and I started with this relationship, wanting to understand this relationship between father and son, and I feel this love, this appreciation for this challenging, dynamic energy. And I remember Srila Karidas saying, it takes the son to understand the father, and the father to understand the son. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Yes, now I feel peace. Now I feel at peace. Now I can go. I can continue transcendentally. So, thank you, Alibol.